The rise of the Roman Empire. In the long story of human civilization, few empires have shaped the world as profoundly as the Roman Empire. Its influence can still be felt today in our laws, languages, architecture, political systems, and even the way we think about power and government. But the Roman Empire did not appear overnight. It began as a small settlement on the banks of a river in ancient Italy. From humble beginnings, Rome slowly expanded through war, diplomacy, ambition, and sometimes ruthless power, until it controlled vast territories across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. This is the story of how a small village became one of the greatest empires in human history. This is the rise of Rome. The birth of Rome. The story of Rome begins with legend. According to Roman mythology, the city was founded in 753 BCE by twin brothers Romulus and Remus. The twins were said to be the sons of the god Mars and a mortal woman named Rhea Silvia. As infants, they were abandoned and left to die beside the Tiber River. But fate intervened. A she-wolf discovered the babies and cared for them until a shepherd found and raised them. Years later, the brothers decided to build a city. But a dispute arose over where the city should stand. The conflict turned violent. Romulus killed Remus and became the first king of Rome. Whether myth or reality, this story reflects the Romans' belief that their city was born from strength, destiny, and divine favor. Historically, Rome likely began as a small settlement of farmers and traders around the Tiber River in central Italy. Its location was ideal. The river provided water and trade routes, nearby hills offered natural defense, and its position between northern and southern Italy made it a strategic crossroads. Over time, these advantages helped Rome grow. The Roman Kingdom. Before Rome became a republic or an empire, it was ruled by kings. According to tradition, Rome had 7 kings between 753 BCE and 509 BCE. Some of these rulers were said to be wise lawgivers. Others were remembered as tyrants. One of the most influential was Lucius Cornelius Superbus, the last king of Rome. His rule was harsh and oppressive. Eventually, the Roman people rebelled. In 509 BCE, the monarchy was overthrown. The Romans swore never again to be ruled by a king. Instead, they created a new system of government. This would become known as the Roman Republic. The Roman Republic. The Roman Republic was unlike anything that existed before. Instead of a king, power was shared between elected officials and governing institutions. 2 leaders called consuls were elected each year to govern the state. A powerful council known as the Roman Senate advised them and controlled many aspects of government. The Republic also had assemblies where citizens could vote on laws. But Roman society was divided. There were 2 main classes. The patricians were wealthy aristocrats who held most political power. The plebeians were common citizens, farmers, craftsmen, and soldiers. Over time, plebeians fought for greater rights and representation. Their struggle led to important reforms, including written laws known as the 12 Tables. These laws helped establish the idea that even leaders must follow the law. This system of shared power and legal structure became one of Rome's greatest strengths. Rome begins to expand. During the early Republic, Rome was just one city among many in Italy. But it soon began to expand. Rome fought numerous wars against neighboring tribes and rival cities. At first, these conflicts were small and local, But with each victory, Rome gained more land, resources, and allies. Roman soldiers were disciplined and organized. Their military formations and strategies allowed them to defeat larger armies. Rome also had a unique system for integrating conquered peoples. Instead of destroying defeated communities, Rome often offered partial citizenship or alliances. This created loyalty and stability. By 300 BCE, Rome controlled most of central Italy. By 270 BCE, nearly the entire Italian peninsula was under Roman influence. Rome was no longer just a city, it was becoming a regional power. The Punic Wars. Rome's next challenge came from across the Mediterranean. A powerful trading empire known as Carthage dominated North Africa and controlled important sea routes. Conflict between Rome and Carthage led to one of the most famous series of wars in ancient history. These were the Punic Wars. The First Punic War began in 264 BCE. It was mainly a naval conflict. Rome, which had little experience at sea, built a massive fleet and eventually defeated Carthage. But the Second Punic War would become legendary. It was led by one of the greatest military commanders of all time, Hannibal Barca. Hannibal shocked the ancient world by marching his army, including war elephants, across the Alps into Italy. For years, Hannibal defeated Roman armies in devastating battles. At the Battle of Cannae, Hannibal destroyed a massive Roman force. It was one of Rome's worst defeats. But Rome refused to surrender. Eventually, Roman general Scipio Africanus invaded North Africa and forced Hannibal to return home. In 202 BCE, Rome defeated Carthage at the Battle of Zama. Rome emerged victorious. Carthage was weakened but not destroyed. That would come later. Rome becomes a Mediterranean power. After defeating Carthage, Rome's power continued to grow. Roman armies expanded into Greece, Asia Minor, and the Eastern Mediterranean. Many Greek kingdoms fell under Roman influence. Rome also destroyed Carthage completely during the Third Punic War in 146 BCE. The city was burned and its territory absorbed by Rome. By this time, Rome controlled vast lands across the Mediterranean. The Romans began to refer to the sea as Mare Nostrum, our sea. But with great power came great problems. Crisis in the Republic. As Rome expanded, ideas and cultures mixed. Wealth from conquered lands flowed into the city. But this wealth was not shared equally. Many small farmers lost their land and moved to the cities. At the same time, wealthy elites grew richer. Political corruption increased. Violence became common in Roman politics. Several leaders attempted reforms. Among them were the brothers Tiberius Gracchus and Gaius Gracchus. They tried to redistribute land to poor citizens. But their efforts angered powerful elites. Both brothers were eventually killed. Their deaths marked the beginning of a long period of political instability. The rise of powerful generals. During the late Republic, military leaders gained enormous influence. Roman soldiers were often loyal to their commanders rather than the state. This allowed ambitious generals to challenge the government. One of the first to seize power was Lucius Cornelius Sulla. He marched on his army on Rome itself, something that had never been done before. Sulla became dictator and ruled with absolute authority. Although he eventually resigned, his actions showed that the Republic was vulnerable. Soon, other powerful figures would follow. Julius Caesar.
Perhaps the most famous Roman of all time was Julius Caesar. A brilliant general and politician, Caesar expanded Roman territory through his conquest of Gaul. His victories made him extremely popular both with soldiers and citizens. But his growing power worried the Roman Senate. In 49 BCE, Caesar made a decision that changed history. He crossed the Rubicon River with his army. By doing so, he declared war on the Roman government. Civil war followed. Caesar defeated his rivals and became the dominant leader of Rome. In 44 BCE, he was declared dictator for life. But many senators feared he wanted to become king. On the Ides of March, Caesar was assassinated.